I don't mean to sound ungrateful, but we've no time for talk. Tolman was out here with me and now Piety has him. They're headed for the crematorium. I've no chance against Piety and your blackguards, but you're another matter entirely. Please, you found it in your heart to rescue me. Tolman is just as worthy of your generosity. I don't mean to sound ungrateful, but we've no time for talk. Tolman was out here with me and now... You found him. Where? Oh my God. Tolman. This bracelet. I made it for him when he first arrived here. Idiot said he'd never take it off. I called him a liar. He didn't, though. Not once. I'll meet you back at the encampment later. We'll talk some more then. Just for now. I need to be alone. I'll meet you back at the encampment later. We'll talk some more then. Just for now. I need to be alone. I don't mean to sound ungrateful, but we've no time for talk. Tolman was out here with me and now... You found him. Where? Oh my God. Tolman. Rayclass takes everything from us. My family. We always keep something from those we've lost. A silly tradition, yet we hold on to what we can, especially here. Please, if... I don't know why you would, but if you're in the crematorium again, could you find Tolman's bracelet for me? It would mean a great deal. No, you go on ahead. I'll meet you back at the encampment later. We'll talk some more then. Just for now, I need to be alone. You're alone? So Tolman's... You didn't go to the crematorium? No, of course you didn't. This isn't your fight. I'm sorry. It was wrong of me to put that on you. To ask you to risk your life for someone you don't even know. Don't worry. I'll work something out. I always do. You're alone. So Tolman's... You didn't go to the crematorium? No, of course you didn't. This isn't your fight. I'm sorry. It was wrong of me to put that on you. To ask you to risk your life for someone you don't even know. Don't worry. I'll work something out. I always do. I'm sorry, I can't... I need some time. We should talk, I know. But please, not now. Poor Tolman. I made this bracelet for him when he first arrived here. Idiot said he'd never take it off. I called him a liar. He didn't, though. Not once. I need to give you something. I asked a lot of you out there in the slums, more than I should have. You tried, and that's all we exiles can ever hope to do. Those keys unlock the gates to the sewers. Tolman found them. Figure that in the worst of times, people will hide their wealth in the worst of places. We were never game to test his theory, not with the Undying down there. But you're strong, stronger than any of us here. I don't think you need to fear the dark. Sorry, I need some more time to think. We'll talk soon, I promise. Be careful, be careful. Bye. See you. Watch yourself. Maramoa, I've heard that the Karui have this philosophy. Makanui, the way of the warrior. I don't think you could get any more Makanui than her. She took it upon herself to look after me, before Tolman arrived. Saved my skin more than once. I'm fine with that. Beats being on her bad side. Hagen likes to think he was my kind old uncle back in Theopolis. Granted, the work he gave me saved my parents and I from starvation. This was after my father lost the family fortune at the card table, and we had to give up the manor in the country for a flea box in Theopolis. But he's not half as generous as he makes out. When Hagen gives you something, you can be damned sure that he's getting his pound of flesh in return. No one should have to go through what Grigor has. I help him as much as he'll let me, but he's a proud one, and so he should be. He's survived what has destroyed too many of us. Halfway across the world, and yet the tie between Vanilla and I endures. That was Piety's real name back in Theopolis, before her rise to greatness. Vanilla sold her thaumaturgy in the day, her body at night. Sought after, she was. Enough so to become one of my best buyers. But money never meant much to Vanilla. No, she was striving for something better, nobler. Used to tell me that life needn't be this hard. It's time you all realised that. I bet she fed Tolman the same bloody line. The blackguards talked about Piety's precious gems being infected with nightmare. Tolman, what did she do to you? Vanilla was arrested for consorting with the unholy and condemned to the pyre. This was before the banishments. Dominus shared a last supper with her, heard her confession. Most think Vanilla earned Dominus's patronage on her back. I don't. Vanilla gave Dominus her better life and got a new name in return. You can count on one thing. Piety's grand future won't include the likes of you, me, or Tolman. You find a high enough spot and you can see the Lunaris temple over the river, at the western edge of the city. Since the blackguards arrived, the clouds above that temple have been stained with the blackest of smoke. You can see it sometimes when the westerly blows. It stinks worse than death. On the fall of the Empire, the historians are deathly silent. After the Purity Rebellion, the Kingdom of Kalm blockaded Oriath, preventing any trade or correspondence with the mainland. It's said that Kalm planned to invade. Only when the Karui retreated did Oriath get any news from Rayclast, but by that time there wasn't really anyone left to tell the tale. Chittus thought that the gemling was the pinnacle of human progress. These glorious gems have brought us within spitting distance of godhood, he once said. The High Templar at the time, Vol of Thebris, thought they were a perversion. He wanted the Empire made pure, cleansed of the stain of thaumaturgy. You look at San and tell me which one you think was right. And while you're out there, look out for monkeys. No, not those bloody monkeys from Frisia. These ones are painted on the walls. I think you'll find them enlightening. I know. So strange that stone and metal should move and live as you and I. Still, I read that Chittus's sculptors used to soften their materials with thaumatic sulfite, a byproduct of gem refining. It's the only connection that I can fathom between the cataclysm and the living sculptures of San. Gravisius dined with us once. This was before my father's gambling debts caught up with him. I dined with him again in Theopolis prison the night before my exile. He wasn't so polite that time. Thank you. That's one memory I can now put to rest. Wherever he is, I'm sure Tolman knows what you've done. I know you didn't do it for him, or for me. It doesn't matter. Piety's reign of cruelty is over. Thank you. Hello. Hello. Need some help? Need something? Watch yourself. What is it? What is it? Yes? Yes? San is changing, and so are we who live here. There, Tolman. Don't you worry. I love you. I'll think of something. Exile. You've helped me before. You can help me again, can't you? The Ankh of Eternity. If the legends are correct, the Ankh has powers over life and death. When paired with the correct Asmerian ritual. I've learned the ritual. All I need is the Ankh of Eternity, and I know I can bring Tolman back. Will you retrieve the artifact for us? Exile. You've helped me before. You can help me again, can't you? My hope waits for me to the east, tucked away in a shrine in the quay. The Ankh of Eternity. Viruso, Prima Imperialis, placed it there himself at the dawn of the Empire. If the legends are correct, the Ankh has powers over life and death. When paired with the correct Asmerian ritual, I've learned the ritual. All I need is the Ankh of Eternity, and I know I can bring Tolman back. Properly, this time. Will you retrieve the artifact for us? I've tried, but the creatures around the shrine, simply too dangerous. Yes, Tolman, I'm getting to that. I've already prepared a site for the ritual out in the quay. Please meet us there with the Ankh so that I may yet breathe life into my dearest love. You told me Tolman was gone. You were wrong. I found him. No, Tolman, I never gave up on you. His soul remains, flickering deep down inside. Oh, Tolman, I know you're in pain, but it'll be over soon, I promise. As I understand it, the Ankh of Eternity was somehow able to return the dead to the full bloom of life. There was nothing necromantic about it. Rather, it was a source of true resurrection. How it came to exist, I honestly don't know. A couple of inscriptions I read treated the Ankh as some sort of gift to Viruso from the Val. But surely the Val were long gone by Viruso's time, weren't they? No matter. Despite the vagaries of the Ankh's origins, Viruso used the Ankh to return his young wife from the deathbed to the wedding bed. The accounts are unanimous on that point. As it was for Viruso's love, so shall it be for mine. By all accounts, Tarkus Viruso was a ruthless despot, a man to rival even the likes of Dominus. Yet his heart of stone contained one precious theme, his love for his wife Chiara. So when the poor young woman died giving birth to Viruso's son, the grieving emperor threw aside his great convictions and placed his last hope in thaumaturgy, in the Ankh of Eternity. Perhaps it was shame that drove Tarkus to lock the Ankh away, to steal such hopes from his descendants. It was he who had asked his people to turn their backs on the ancient arts, so what right had he to enjoy that which he forbade? Love gave him that right. Give it to me quickly. Finally, Tolman, we can be together as before. All right, let's begin. Suffering will besiege us, and yet love will prevail. Pain will imprison us, and yet love will prevail. Grief will engulf us, and yet love will prevail. Death will surely take us, and love will... No, this isn't right. This is... Oh, Tolman, please. Forgive me. Exile, look out! How could I have been so stupid? Viruso didn't hide the Ankh out of shame. He hid it out of fear, out of... Oh my. What did the Ankh really do to his wife? Everything I saw, that I read, lies to cover the truth of what Chiara had really become. All right, I'll destroy the Ankh. We've come a long way since Viruso's day, so I'm thinking I can manage where he so sorely failed. At least that's something I know I can do right. I'll meet you back at the encampment soon. For now I need to... Look, I'll just see you there, I promise. Poor Tolman. He was never really with me, was he? Just the shell of a man I loved. Wherever he is now, I hope he is at peace and that he can forgive me for not being able to let go. Here, take something for at least helping me. And thank you for everything. My heart aches for Grigor. I know the battle in which he is engaged. It's like my own, a fight to make sense of life in a land that deems life to be worthless. I don't know where he's gone, but I do know he's looking to find himself, his true self, as we all must do in our own time. Wherever he is, I'm sure Tolman knows what you've done. I know you didn't do it for him, or for me. It doesn't matter. Piety and Dominus are done with ruining other people's lives. For now, at least, we have only Ray-class cruelty to contend with. Thank you. When I washed up on the Twilight Strand, I didn't imagine I'd outlive the man who sent me there. I never met him, but I think I've garnered more than enough from the company he chose to keep. If Piety and Gravisius believed in him, then I feel comfortable in celebrating his passing.